What personality differences have you seen in children with incarcerated parents when compared to children whose parents have never been to jail or prison?
Okay, the personalities that I've seen in a child whose parents or a parent is currently incarcerated as opposed to a child where the parent is not incarcerated, include the child being distant and reserved. They tend to keep to themselves. Um, they hold in a lot of their emotions. Um, they may disclose, they may have one person that they may disclose to. And then if that, it's rare when they do. Um, with regards to them being angry, they will hold a lot of anger towards the parent who's not incarcerated. Um, they tend to be manipulative at times in the sense of the parent who's not incarcerated. They'll tend to get their way because making that parent feel bad that the other adult is currently incarcerated, so they'll be able to get more things or more freedom in a sense. I know specifically around the holidays, it's been seen when other children get visitations or allowed to go visit relatives and that child isn't, they're upset at everyone. And I think it's because it's something that they can't control. They didn't have a choice. They weren't given an option of, whether or not their parent goes to jail or not. And that's it.
Do these children tend to follow in their parents' footsteps?
Um, in my field of work, I have observed that history tends to repeat itself, um, in that um, there's more of a likelihood that the child may follow the same tendencies as the parent, may not go as extreme as to being incarcerated. However, there are some underlining issues and tendencies, such as if a parent has been in and out of prison the majority of their life, at some point the child may have been in a detention center or have had some behavior problems where they've had to be incarcerated for a short period of time. So I would say, in my field of work and what I've observed, I do feel history tends to repeat itself, and there is a likelihood that the child may or may not be incarcerated.
Are children with incarcerated parents in a prison of their own?
I would say yes to some extent, um, because they have a lack of control. As I mentioned before, not being able to control whether or not a parent is put in prison due to laws and regulations, but they don't have an understanding, depending on the age, um, of the reason behind whatever the parent may have done, the long-term effects that it'll have. A child doesn't know that, and most adults don't realize either some of the long-term effects a parent being incarcerated has on a child overall. With the child, I do feel like it may vary, because some children may take it and do the opposite. It may motivate them to do the opposite of what their parent did. Some may not know what to do. And then others may end up tending to repeat what the parents have done.
What can the community do to ease the negative impact that having an incarcerated parent has on a child?
Be supportive. Um, Always be there to listen to them. Um, One thing some people don't realize, from a parent being incarcerated, a whole lot of issues and concerns will arise, and someone needs to be there to assist that child with resolving those, or at least handling them appropriately. I would say if there's any type of resources in the community that's available, mentoring programs, as well as I feel like some counseling should be done for a child, especially when and if a parent is able to be reunified with the child. I do feel like they would need to do some counseling, because there would be some unresolved issues that would need to be handled at that time.